Yay! Hello and welcome to Let's Drone Out. Tonight we are joined by Adam Juniver,
Hello.
Jay Chipko from above you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year.
I've noticed a few people think I say above you rather than above view.
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
Well, I actually started off with above you, as in I thought, it's above you, and technically it is. But I thought people might take offense. No, they might take offense like it's above you. I'm sorry, you won't understand. So it kind of changed and evolved.
And we're also joined by our favourite guinea pig, Tony.
Bonjour. Happy
Well, of course, he's against the eating of guinea pigs.
2017.
Yes, it's a new year. Oh,
Hey.
Is Frank here?
Hello.
G'day,
Yeah.
Frank.
What the hell?
What?
Is it
Hold on,
gonna
am
be-
I in some parallel dimension at the moment? Is this real?
is it robot Frank though?
pinch myself. No, well, Frank may be joining us very shortly then. It does look promising, so stay tuned. He might
Right,
pop in a moment.
he did speak just a moment ago. I did hear him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You still hear me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Very clear.
Dude,
Hello.
What the hell? Everyone's here.
welcome to the
show's
21st
on the
century.
website. What's going on? I'm scared.
Well, it just proves we're not celebrities. We all survived 2016.
Yeah, but we
Really
survived
did
this
turn
year.
into a bit of a talent scout, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did. Maybe it's to make room for some new talent. I don't know. Maybe there's.
Or maybe some people have been given the opportunity to escape before the real
Yeah,
fun starts.
before it all really. Yeah. Yeah.
Adam, you look 10 years younger.
It does. I do look young. I was thinking that while she was cutting it. I was like, oh, I look younger. And then, oh, my face looks different shape. Now you can really see how fat I am.
You said that. I didn't.
Right.
Isn't
Before
it just
the
a
hair was
fisheye lens? Isn't that the fisheye webcam?
Yeah, it's Apple's fault. That's the second thing Apple have done to ruin things today. The other one, with the slight lateness, was because I couldn't find some headphones that would work with my Mac because the headphones that come with my iPhone don't fit into my computer. Thank you, Apple.
Oh, well done, Apple.
So anyway, this is a new year, and Jack basically referred to Tony as a guinea pig. And so before the show, we were actually thinking what we're going to do for this year. There's many exciting things coming up, isn't there? In 2017, we made it. 2017, and we're thinking about doing some tests on Tony to see if we can make him a better, more agile, mentally agile pilot, or a worse pilot through drugging him, sort of abusing him. I don't know. Basically, he's a guinea pig, and we're going to conduct some scientific experiments. So, if anyone's listening tonight, we want to know sort of any example tests that you'd like to see run on Tony, the guinea pig.
Not too horrible, please.
Well, no,
Yeah,
you're all Brighton based, I guess.
As long as they're of scientific validity, they will be considered. You don't know what you want to do yourself in there, Tony, but yeah. It could be. We might make you the best pilot. You might get first place. You might be flying around the world. So let's see if have some faith in us.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be nice.
You do know that the people who run the drone racing league are ultimately responsible to, or have to do the same drugs tests as the athletes, the same federation as the IFF.
Did it really?
Yeah, I was surprised as well. I found it out recently.
but if we use placebos and tell Tony he's taking a performance-enhancing drug, but he's only taking placebo, then he gets the benefit maybe, but he doesn't
That's true.
He doesn't feel it.
And to be honest, how often have you been asked to piss in a pot before competing?
But I think it's a valid thing actually, because there's a lot of hand-eye coordination required for racing, or even flying. I'm just destroying the place. There's a lot of hand-eye coordination required, yet perhaps people don't think about the mental agility that you can get from food, your food,
Through
and a lot of
cocaine?
other sports. Well,
Oh, sorry.
it's a performance enhancing, isn't it, Jack?
Like carrots. Second World War, carrots.
Performance enhancing carrots.
There's many things, and that's why we're going.
And of course, there's something you have to resist from doing in case you go blind.
Yeah,
A true
sure.
sportsman.
I don't handle that.
Okay. Eat more carrots then, so you can see in the dark at
That's
least.
it.
Eat more carrots and go catch.
Yeah, but it's hard to believe we actually made it through last year. So there's there's going to be more air shows, there's going to be more race events. I'm looking forward to an exciting year ahead.
I'm hoping that
You're
we
rich,
don't have,
okay?
that we don't have to use transponders anymore. Because
Yeah, there is that promising news.
I had a go on the race box and it worked fantastic. And the fact that you don't have to put a transponder on your quad is so good. What side
I
has
wouldn't
it got to
check
be? What side? Left or right? Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. You just fly through the gate and it registers. So
Was it something to do with a black sheep thing? that you-
No, I use the race box one.
Okay.
Like I think it's 8 or 7 Arduinos.
Arduinos. Arduinos.
Sorry, Jay.
It was a proper Arduino, you know?
In a box, programs, and then you fly through the gate, and the VTX spike picks up, and it works. It worked. We tried it. Matthew Austin had one, and we tried it a couple of weekends ago on Hidden Valley, and it worked perfect. And you ain't got to worry about putting a transponder in your quad every time.
That's true. And wiring it in and potential
Yeah, and what
problems
side
and-
is it going to be? Left
And
or
also,
right? And Velcro
when
and
there's
all that.
watch out,
snarking.
I don't think they're always reliable because I mean, if you have a crash, the contacts and stuff and the transponders, they don't always work.
Mm,
So hopefully with the VTX, if you're not flying with the VTX, you're generally not racing, are you?
no.
Not unless you're doing the
But yeah, I
let's
think
throw out games version.
the Easy Race lap timer, infrared version 1 as well. So there's like the combination of the two. It's like the Pocket Edition is the one works with the VTXs.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the same. That's the same one as we used, but we had the race edition where you can do 8 of us.
I mean,
Okay. But yeah, I think from what I can tell, the PVRA ones are probably not going to go over to VTX timing. They're still waiting for sort of sure that it is like as millisecond accurate as the infrared ones.
well, the trouble is with a radiation pattern from a VTX, you might get bleed forward when you haven't actually got there.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's other systems that may work better, but it's probably, I think all too often, it's not easy for people to get a rough timing guide set up between small club events. And I think steps like this are good for the, communities out there. To start at least.
easier
You
than-
did it for a serious event. Couldn't you very sneakily put something that slightly increases the pulse of power from your VTX as you're approaching the gate? So you get registered just a moment earlier than you would have been?
But you'd have to do
Is
that
that
on
a plan of
every
mine?
single one. Because after your first one, you're behind to start where you're next on the next one. So in theory, you'd only gain a little bit of time out of the whole 3-5 lap thing. But the cost was always a factor, and that's why a lot of people haven't bought into it. So I just hope there's a Menace
those
RC
who
ideal of a
don't
lap
entirely know what we're talking about. What we're saying is that the gate will just measure the frequency of your drone, of the video signal it transmits as it goes through. You won't have to stick on an extra piece. That's just
Well, if you had a highly directional receiving antenna, so in other words, it's only receiving once it passes one point, i.e. the gate, you can make it pretty much quite accurate to what you're doing. So, I think it'd be within a fraction of a second.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just how much of a fraction of a second does it make a difference between the wavelength of infrared versus the wavelength of
Yeah, but how many times have
Yeah.
people flown through a gate, and because you're not flying through a gate level, the transponder hasn't registered? At least
Please,
you can fly
it's-
through a gate upside down with the race box, and it works.
Exactly,
Maybe
that's
more
the
to the
thing. It's
question.
like you can either have something that will pick up everyone every time,
Yeah.
but maybe it'll pick up people when it shouldn't. Thing which is never going to pick up a wrong one, but it might sometimes miss a few.
Well,
That's the
Do we know
thing,
any
like,
costs of the VTX lap timing systems then? Has anyone got any ballpark
I think
figures?
it was about 70 euros, something like that.
it's
Was it?
like
I can't remember.
45 quid if you buy the one timer for yourself. If you buy the one what does 8 pilots or more, I think it's like 600 quid, but don't quote me on that.
How does it
Wow.
feed back?
Should we just buy
Is it
6
plug
of
into
the
a
normal
laptop?
ones?
Yeah, you can plug it into a laptop or run it off a tablet or something like that. So it's when we used it the other weekend, it was really good. That's all I can say. It was really good, and you can set out if you wanted to. You could like GPS mark all your gates around a track. Like one week, we all race around that one track that we've laid out. GPS mark everything, and then come back the next mate. Right, Tones had the fastest lap. Let's set up the same track and do it again and see who can beat the, beat
I
the
thought
high
you
score.
said it was going to give you average speeds and stuff.
It will
Like,
for
it
you.
would
that's right.
calculate. Oh no, not for the whole lap. I mean, I thought it would calculate, individual little bits of information. No, don't worry.
I know the TBS one does all
We're
of
only in the
that, all
21st
the
century, Adam.
split lap timing and all of that sort of thing. And it can even generate like maps, like a sort of guesstimated map of how far different people are around laps, because so they're enormous. So you kind of
That's quite
need a
cool.
map.
Jack, why don't you come on and ask this question? Because we haven't heard from you for about 10
Oh.
minutes, and I feel he
do you
got
miss
that.
your-
There he is.
Yeah,
I miss.
I am here.
You're here on the show. You don't have to type into the box. Sorry.
Well, no, I didn't want to interrupt, and for some reason I've got like quite bad internet in a way. You're skipping out ever so slightly, but I am following the chat. That's
You
all.
sound good
I'm not
to
really
us.
saying much,
Well,
and I turned my video off.
Jack is he's already working on the sort of scientific tests to be working on Tony, I think.
Jack, tell us what Ian Payne asks in the
Oh
chat.
yeah, Ian Payne asks, has anyone ever tried the FrSky Tyrannus RSSI based lap timer? I think
This is the
that's.
TechWhip one, right?
I don't know. I think
This is the one that
is it-
runs just when you, isn't it just when your signal's the strongest, it counts a lap timer as you pass yourself? That's what I believe it does, isn't it? Because I know some people have tested basic versions of it, but how reliable can that be if you're talking about a receiving antenna for your transmitter, as opposed to perhaps a VTX on a gate, where it's rigged properly? I don't
Is
know
it
how
the
accurate that
Lewis
would be.
script one? Is he talking about with a switch? Like you can switch.
I think so. I think GFPV has got everything to do that Tyrannus one. He just hasn't had time to set it up. And now this race box has come out. The race box that I tried was really, really good.
Is that the one that Dom had at the?
It was the one Matt Austin had a couple of weekends ago at Hidden Valley.
You know something? You can actually get a Spectrum receiver now for those that still fly Spectrum that does lap timing. I believe it's on signal strength.
Does it take into account for dropouts?
Exactly. I don't know. Probably, only if you're on DSM2.
That's it. Like bad. Yeah.
But I mean, it's what level of resolution do you want? Like, it's for having a set course around your local trees or something. It can be quite nice to have a rough timer that maybe a TX based or whatever method. But I know,
Especially since it's
want to
free,
start
that's the
racing.
thing.
A VTX at 70 quid, but if that only does one pilot, is it quite an achievable amount for most
I think it's
people
40
with the
quid.
pods?
I think the race box is like 40, 45 quid, and it does your own count. It does one person. And I'm sure the one what does 8 pilots is like 600 quid, but I'm not.
And so,
I'm not
do you
entirely
have to?
sure it's that much.
Do you modify your start finish gate for that with something for that to work?
Not
or is
really. I think
It's just a box next to your gate.
yeah, it's just a box pretty much near the gate, and you type in whatever frequency you're on. Tonester's on 5822, whatever. So and so's on that. Keeping you up, Adam. Again, sorry about that.
Sorry.
Well, if who makes this thing again? I forgot the name. Sorry. Which one did you try?
I don't know.
That Easy Race, sorry.
Easy Race. Yeah. Let's get him on the show. Let's give him the hard questions. How accurate? Come on. Can we have one to test?
Let me see if I can ask Matt to come on, because he was
Yeah.
he helped write the code for it. So let me find out if he's about.
Well, you heard it here first. We may have him on in the future.
I will
Who knows?
pause myself and see if I can get in contact with him for a sec.
Out of before you do, Tony. Oh, I lost him already.
I'm back.
He's gone.
I was going to say when you race, and I don't know who from the rest of us races, what's the sort of difference between the winner and the person who comes second, person who comes third, like in fractions of seconds in a competition, typically?
Depends who designed the track.
Say it's all right.
It does depend on the size of the track.
Yeah,
Quite a lot.
I appreciate that. For a typical Thomas Greer
Tony
design
didn't laugh,
track,
though.
I don't know. I mean, I've overtaken like on the gate a few times. Like people have coming into the gate, and I've just beat them at the gate.
so it's a pretty
So,
narrow mark. I mean, you can see
Some
why
of
you
it
want
can
it
be,
accurate.
yeah, some of it can be. But it's not only that. It's like if you set out a GPS-based track that you can do and set up a couple of times in a year, you could go around and go, right, Tony done this in 27 seconds.
You could become a legend.
That's the one you got to beat. And then someone could beat it, and then their time can go up. And then you do a few more tracks another few weeks, and then set that track back up. And then you got to beat whoever's up next. You know, whoever beat
That's what
me,
the
whatever.
Aussie boys have been doing. You know, Thomas and all that. That's, you know, they've been setting up the similar sized track, laying it out exactly the same, and then handing their videos on YouTube with their set time.
Yeah.
And
Whoa, we got
quite angry.
RoboJack. RoboJack is back.
Oh, see what I mean? My internet's crap.
Yeah, no,
For
that's
some
cool,
reason.
Jack. Well, it's good to hear from you, man. I mean, you're part of the show. But
I know.
I'm
actually,
worried
well,
I'm worried about. He is the show, man. I'm
I've
worried
been
about the
looking through
idea
the
of.
chat, and he's been
RoboJack.
answering a lot.
Because
Yeah.
I get the impression that his vision might have gone red, and he might have like little words over it, like human casualties 0.0.
Kill Tony.
You know, I've just paused the live chat just to join the chat, and it's paused on Jack's head. Looking very excited. I mean, it looks a cross between like he's just got his best Christmas present ever and his cum face.
Speaking of Greg, oh, thank you.
I need to
Is
take
the
a screenshot and
timestamp?
post it. No, because it says live, but I will take a screenshot of it just so you can see. Oh dear, I'm sorry to put that image in your heads, people.
Put it in the chat. Did you ever write in the chat?
I'm
Joe,
just
you a
doing that
mod?
now. Yeah, well, now I've got acquired a keyboard. I
What?
don't get called Miss Moneypenny, so it's easier.
I like that. That's cool. Because you can post links.
Yeah, but I don't. Can I post images straight to the chat?
Yeah, because you're a
Oh
mod.
well.
Sorry,
quite
if
a lot
anyone's
of chat.
listening, actually, because it's not always on Powering On, be sure to head over to the Bright Until I Fly YouTube page where there's a live video where you can join in the chat. Or is somebody looking after the Powering On chat, by the way? Hello to the people there.
I went in there. It's absolutely dead.
Yeah, let's stick with one. It's confusing otherwise.
Well, okay then. If you want to join the chat, if you want to actually post some questions or say we're doing a rubbish job, that's more than welcome. Do it on the YouTube live chat. And maybe this
Binary-
year we'll get it on the proper Let's Drone Out, so we can just say the Let's Drone Out chat and people will find it easier. That is probably one of our to-dos. Right, your picture.
Binary Throttle asks, Tony, how does GPS work if the Earth is flat and gravity's made up?
Very good. Triangulation
Oh, excellent.
from radio masks.
It's all right. They're geostationary satellites. They're above. They just stay there. They're stuck to the ceiling.
Triangulation from aerial masks. They triangulate your position.
The space lizards hold them in place.
I was saying GPS for you mere mortals.
They're
Ask
kept in the
the
sky by
turtle.
turtle farts.
Right, yeah. The lizard people tell you how fast you can
Good.
go.
Good call from whoever that was. I didn't hear his name.
Gav. And Binary
Right.
Throttle, I believe.
Oh,
I think.
I know that little shit is.
For
Oh, it looks like somebody's doing well.
Oh, sweary, sweary,
Nice.
sweary.
That's nice. I didn't win.
I've won twice in a row.
Oh, we
Does
thought
anyone-
we got it out of the system before the show started, Tony.
God
Does-
damn it.
Clearly
does
not.
does anyone want to buy Tony's car There's £100 off every time he swears in this episode.
What is it? You mean the ban?
It has no MOT and no tax at the moment. So yeah,
Surely we buy any car are the only people you can imagine.
What car is?
Is it going to get towed away soon?
well, hopefully not. I'm trying to get it through its MOT tomorrow or Saturday. But it's got no tax or anything. So I obviously can't get tax without MOT. And my MOT run out the day I was trying to get tax. And it said, you have no MOT.
But-
and I was like, oh my God.
Tony, you are aware that you're allowed to drive your car untaxed without an MOT on the road as long as it's to a garage.
Yeah, I know
Not
that.
too far away. Well, they don't even stipulate distance.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I've booked it in for
As long as it's
tomorrow
booked in.
or the Saturday, so it's fine.
I'll do your MOT. Drive it up here, and we'll go flying.
It will pass. I
You're
know
being-
it will. There's nothing wrong with it.
He's being asked if it's a BMW. It's a Bentley, isn't it?
I would never drive a BMW. It's a Japanese import.
Look,
Oh, who's
With a
gone?
really nice number plate.
what is it?
You got to keep it for the number plate, Tone.
No, I know. I have already thought about that. I can't have T1 FPV on my van. It just doesn't work.
So earlier on this couple of days ago, I sent Frank I sent a little
Dick.
well, a link regards Chelmsford, the birthplace of radio, has banned all drones. Apparently, is that right?
What? I don't know what you're talking
Pocket
about.
drones. Who banned? Say that again.
No.
Essex
Chelmsford.
county town Chelmsford, which is possibly
Ah.
one of the most unpleasant places I've ever been.
What? Why? Charles,
So you don't want to go flying your drone there anyway?
No, so screw them.
why do you? What is it? Charles Dickens said that if I had to name the most boringest spot on the face of Earth, I would say Chelmsford.
Chelmsford's moved on a bit since then, though. The whole Essex
Has
Girl
it?
era.
you,
Yeah,
you,
I'm not necessarily
you hate
on
it?
better.
Why do you hate it?
I used to have a friend who worked for Marconi, who were still quite a big employer in the area. You know, they started their radio transmissions and then they didn't feel like moving. But it just didn't seem, his bit of town didn't seem very nice.
Okay.
I don't
anyway,
know. I've had bad
before we get
experiences.
too anti-Essex,
I blame the town.
if they've banned them all from public parks, just go to the car parks. Technically, not
Are
park.
they
No,
not
Frank,
a public
didn't you
park of
say
some
that-
kind?
No, they're
Didn't you-
not a public green space park.
What was that
So that-
document I sent you?
Yeah, so Jack earlier today sent me a document. So it's the IPCC's released under, I believe, by looking from the link, it's a request, and it's the police's general advice. Guidance to officers on drones, legislation, and dealing with misuse. So it's the advice to police for what to do when you see someone being naughty with a drone, and what does it mean, and all
I
that
was
kind
going
of
to say
thing.
the first question, surely, but yes, you answered it before I said it.
So yeah, there's a few issues with it. The thing is, I don't know. I'm trying to work out at the moment the latest one, or whether it has been updated since this has been published, because there are a few issues with it, which is why it was posted on Facebook, which is how Jack got hold of it, which is why he sent it to me. Because one thing, it says whether the pilot is wearing FPV goggles. If they are, this is an offence.
Ooh.
Oh,
An issue
Wow.
for a few reasons.
Unless he's got a mate standing next to him.
Exactly. But it doesn't make any mention of that, and it's definitely after the at least two of the FPV exemptions, exemption 1168, I believe. So yeah, that's been around for, and definitely
it has to be
before
renewed
this
every
was
year.
published. been renewed every year.
But it has been, yeah.
I don't see why that would be an issue. But obviously that hasn't got through to these people. And they've said a few other things like an aggravating factor for offences against the ANO, the Air Navigation Order. One of the aggravating factors would be flying in a public building.
What?
I would have thought
Because
that flying
the Air
in a
Navigation
building,
Order, it only covers
By
airspace. But in a building, it's not governed by a CAA or anything like that.
Although the
Yeah.
CAA do think of themselves as covering inside buildings.
I've spoken to them, and they don't want anything to do with it. Like, they're
No.
quite happy not having anything to do with us, to be honest.
Not the nice people who you ever speak to when you have those things, but the people who run the courses describe themselves as actually, which I thought was interesting. So different people there have different views on the subject. Is probably the best.
You see,
also
ultimately,
list-
the
they also
move is
list
to
the,
move towards the police, isn't it?
legislation that they should be aware of when dealing with drone users, and the first one on the list is the Sexual Offences Act 2003, section 67 voyeurism. The first thing, the first bit of legislation that the police should be aware
Really?
when dealing with a drone user.
Even before anything to do with aviation.
That's mentioned higher up in the document, but
that's
when
the
they
thing.
list them out.
What it is they put you on the back foot, isn't it? Because as soon as you've got a camera on it recording, and even if it's a surveillance camera like FPV camera, you can potentially see an image, and that's where they're using that to their advantage, because it does mean it's a different sort of aircraft. It's a surveillance aircraft, and B, it's not as easy to then say actually it's not like that at all. Blah blah blah. They've already got you on the back foot. But the trend is to move from the CAA
to be honest,
police,
if any
and that's-
policeman is with you saying anything about sexual offences, you're suddenly going to agree with anything else he says and get the hell out of there before he charges you, and you can't go near schools.
Well, I think you could stand up in court and say, look, it was FPV, here's some footage, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't fine with people. You know, you could easily show that even with recorded GoPro footage, it's not looking at people. The closest they'd get is if you're yawing around someone, but let's face it, we all just yaw around each other, which we kind of give that unwritten consent anyway, because we fly together. So I don't think it would ever get to the levels in court of that standing up, but it just means the police have that power to put you on the back foot, to move you on.
But then, it isn't just drones, in fairness. The police can always take advantage of whatever rules they've,
Exactly.
And at least we're not, say, driving near Leeds.
The other interesting thing was that with the with having the cameras on it, and so the footage and images are probably recorded somewhere, it makes very clear to the police, like, you do not have any stand on to require images,
Or
unless they're a terrorist.
A judge.
If you have reasonable suspicion that they might be a terrorist, then you can make sure that they.
Can't you record in a public
But
place?
surely you have
No, you can
reasonable
record.
suspicion that anyone that you fancy is a terrorist, or not fancy, you know what I mean? Like, this person is flying something around in the sky. I think they're probably a terrorist. Better check.
Well,
I tell you how simple
probably
it can
an
be.
argument.
I'm not saying. There's somebody that posted in one of the groups saying, I want to buy a quad. I think it was one of the junkyard groups. I want to buy a quad for £80. It doesn't need to carry a camera or anything, but it needs to go high as it can. And
That
people say,
person's
okay.
definitely a terrorist.
Well, no, but they're saying it needs to carry a small weight. Now, it could be anything from scientific stuff to anything. And the trouble is that things like that just only provoke public perception of these things.
Well, and in not just public perception, I think he's probably a terrorist.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, you just don't know, do you? I mean,
No, I
the
suppose
truth is,
I just want to go really high.
yeah. I don't want to carry a camera, no, because I don't want to see how high I go. I just want to carry, I don't know, my poor pet hamster up there.
No.
Yeah, my hamster will tell me how much he enjoyed the experience.
I'll see how excited my hamster got, and that'll be like I was up there.
I
I
will.
don't know.
I will hunt you down if you do that.
Tony, I'm not going to put any
really-
animals. In fact,
I want to fly over a ski lodge.
I think the only things you're allowed to put on a like aircraft, because I think it came down to rockets and all that, is insects. I think they let you fire insects on these things, but
Yeah, I think
Really?
there's specific
Still
mention of
living?
rodents
you
somewhere.
can't you
Yeah.
can't necessarily put animals on these things anyway. Or
Really?
When I was
rodents
a
or
kid,
anything
when
that
I was a
goes
kid,
out.
we did
Yeah, but I
a
give a
rocket
shit
that had a
about
payload
insects
area.
too.
Huh?
Oh,
I said I give a shit about insects
you
too.
wouldn't even eat. You wouldn't eat a spider.
Well, of course I
He put-
wouldn't.
no, Tony
I
does
let
eat
them free and
spiders.
I take pictures of them.
He eats them every year, about 7 as they
No,
crawl into his
that's
mouth
Yeah,
as
that
they
was-
sleep.
They drink out of my mouth when I'm sleeping.
Is that what you call it? Is that what you call it?
Right, anyway, let's change the subject.
Yeah.
I have bought today a Foxeer Arrow. Has anyone purchased
A new
this?
one. Isn't there a new one? Is that because I have, and the only fault I have is a lot of people break them, and sometimes the screws push the chip off the inside board of the first one I got, and the voltage doesn't work unless you run a wire into the back. So unless they've
The
changed
only
those
faults I
things,
could think of them is that they're
And-
shit.
and the white balance needs to be adjusted.
Where?
And that's about it.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
you asked my thoughts, but I
Right.
think they might have fixed a few of that.
I might take it back then.
Well, I don't know.
Where did you take your voltage from for a start? Can it just
Okay.
come from the board? Like if you
It
run
comes
a
a lead through the back.
PDB?
Yeah, you got to. Well, you can measure whatever you want, but it's got to come through. You've got to solder a direct lead onto the board, only the positive.
Right, so just anywhere on the PDB or to a.
You can't just pick a spot and solder to it. You have to
Well,
see
that's
where it
what I'm
actually.
asking you, Jay. Come on.
There is. I think it's clearly marked on the board, but there's plenty of guides if you Google it. You will find the exact spot. But check your version because they might have actually changed it from the version I had.
What I'm
Right,
worried.
I'll tell you one thing. No. This is
Ian
the most
Payne
important
says the
thing.
V1 was terrible.
You can't use long screws of the really small metric size because often they'll push through the side of the case and push the chip off the tracks, and you basically you might get your OSD, but you'll just get a blank.
How
blank.
do I know if this is the V2 or V1?
I don't know if there's a V2. I think they did.
I thought you said it was a V2 at the beginning.
It says CCD Sony Superhad 2.
Yeah, that's not it.
Two.
You're looking for...
There you go. That sounds.
If you
No,
open
that's
if you
that's
open
not
the
it.
box and you know
On
the
Surely
the
if you
instruction
don't
live
box-
unboxing video now. Live unboxing with Tony. Here we
I'm
go.
unboxing it.
Okay,
Come on, it's a bit more
I've got
Hurry
a
up.
much more exciting live unboxing
What's wrong, Jack?
potentially.
Jack is
Has
currently
anyone
signing
worked out
away.
what
He is
this is
going
yet?
around. No, we don't want to know what that is. Stop it, children. Children.
right.
Right.
So
Any other?
I've unboxed it.
you know the OSD changing
Yes.
circuit board thing. Has
Yeah.
it got like a little white clip halfway along the wire?
Hold
You
on.
know, like a little socket.
Is that how you determine V1 or V2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
V1. There was no other way to like disconnect it than other than like pulling the actual Molex little pin bit out, but that's about it.
No.
Alternatively, the
Say
V2
that
has
ag-
more pins.
Say that again. I've
And
got
one is a
this. I've got
separate
this
voltage.
thing.
Yep.
Look in the chat.
Keep talking, Tony.
I've got this thing. What do you want me to look at?
Have a look at the wire. Has it got like a little connector in
Yes,
the middle
it
of the
has.
wire? Yeah, that's a V2.
So look, this is this what
Hooray.
you're talking about.
So it's not a doodle bug. It's the other one.
Yeah.
So
But
I've got that.
Yep. If it's got that little
I can
connector,
take that apart there.
yeah. Yeah,
Well-
there was no connector on the V1.
So this is-
I do believe the local flyer to you all down there, a crash test dummy flyer, as in Clinton, has tried one of the V2s and they've managed to smash the case open.
Oh, Clinton can smash fucking
I know.
anything.
But,
just
but all
walked
I'm going to
in
say
like
is, I don't know if the plastics aged very tough, and B, he had some white balance issues, and I think that's the reason he had a crash, because you do need to adjust it from the standard. I don't think the white balance is set very well, so
Well,
don't
it's-
expect to
it's
just.
got-
That's
It's
what
got
I'm saying.
everything, so you can change everything.
Yeah, so make sure you do before you test it. That's
I
all.
always put
You mean
Fanny's-
Jack always does
fanny
tests for you.
settings on before I fly anyway, because Banny's settings are really good.
Do you want to share them with everyone? I mean, everyone deserves
We
good
did.
camera settings.
I think
Again.
he shared them. I can't put it back in the box if I want to take it back anyway. God damn it.
So there's
They come-
there's a monster.
It comes
1200
with like 2 cases. So if you ruin one case, you can put on the other case.
Well done, Tony.
Thank you very much. But what I'm worried about is I land when my timer goes off.
Yeah.
So my timer does like 2 minutes 15 when I know I need to land. But I'm worried about having this on my camera, whether it's going to pee me off having Fox Ear written across it and having a timer going off and having the voltage just going up and down, because it's all very well good having
Turn it off.
voltage, but the
No, but-
voltage
but,
goes
okay,
up and down
okay.
anyway, because as soon as you punch
know.
the air, it goes down, and then you slow down and come down off your punch, and then it goes back up again. So it's
Okay, my view is because let's face it, yeah, you can punch up and then it can come down, but if you just do 10 seconds of level flying, not exerting it, and you know what the voltage is at that, you got a good idea as to what it might be at. And I'm a fan of timer and only flying to my time limit because I've killed so many batteries not doing that. But now I've moved from some drone lamps to some Aishi batteries, and they give a much longer fly time, or at least you can't tell the power sag, because sometimes you can tell when a battery's towards the end of its life. But also, some of the other batteries seem to have that more staying power. So having a voltage reference is always a great thing, I find. Just even to just have that few seconds level flight, oh, it's at 13 volts, maybe I'll land, you know? I always say voltage is a good thing, even if you've got timer.
I agree if you're freestyling, but if you're racing and you've like got too much stuff going on while you're trying to concentrate, overtake people, remember the track, is it going to be a hindrance having too much information on the screen?
Well, what we'll do is we'll incorporate that
Clutter.
into our sort of tests on you, Tony. We'll see if you can handle it without whether you're drunk or anything, you know. Throwing water over you while you're flying. See if we can refresh you and get you excited. We'll test all these things, don't worry.
Okay.
Let me touch your
Looks a lot
nipples.
less worried about this than
Jack, don't you do that anyway? I know you didn't get married, but surely you're still doing things like that.
yeah, but they haven't done it scientifically yet. That's
What?
massive.
Touching nipples?
Jay's on the slow gin and liking it.
No, you know what? No, it's actually quite fun. I'm actually feeling good about this year. I actually signed up for the FPVVRA Racing Association for the first time. So
Yeah, mine run out.
this year is
Mine
yeah,
ran
'cause
out a couple of days ago. I need to redo it again.
so you know I'll it's good year to enjoy.
I'm looking forward to this year. It's the sun's on its way and not on its way out. It's coming back. So
By the way, if we're lucky enough to have anyone who flies FPV in Barcelona, I'm going to be there in June, and I'd love to fly somewhere around there. So
Barcelona.
You're not going to miss Summer's Bonds.
Oh,
When's
Summer's
that?
Bonds is awesome.
It may or may not happen. So,
What?
but it's June is the possibility.
May not happen. It's
Okay,
happening.
well,
It's
I've wanted to
going
get to
to
this
happen.
festival for about 13 years, and I figured this year of any year I'm going to do it. So,
Is that the what's it called?
so no.
Ah.
It's kind of like a music and creative tech. Jack, you'd love it. They have like all sorts of creative technologies and stuff.
Frank, please tell
they-
me Sumner's Pond's on.
Yeah,
I think it is.
10th,
Thomas
11th
posted-
of June.
10th
Sorry?
of what?
Posted the date,
10th
and then lots of people.
11th of
saying
June
that.
or 10th and 11th
Oh,
of June.
perfect. That's just before I fly out then. Awesome.
It's so relaxing at Sumner's Pond.
Well, I haven't
don't
been
you-
there at all ever,
Isn't
so
camping the opposite of relaxing?
No,
no.
brilliant when you.
Well, okay, Adam. Camping plus booze equals relaxing.
Yeah, fair point.
Apart from in the middle of the night when you need to get up and go for a pee. But
you just
that's
bloody-
life.
over the
That
other
is,
mate, over your
especially
mate,
now I'm over the hill.
What, Tony?
over your mate's tent, innit? You know,
Did I just hear that?
I'm getting less relaxed.
No. I'm
Don't-
never camping whilst you're at Hidden Valley ever again.
Me.
No. I thought you were like peace loving and vegan.
Of
He's
course
still
not.
allowed to mark his territory.
Exactly. Thank you, Jack.
The,
Like the animals do.
Yeah, but that's not
Yeah.
peaceful. That's horrid. At least you know it'll be vegan pea.
It will be.
what are the benefits of the BFPVRA?
Exactly, Tony, tell us, because I was going to ask you that question. I'm glad.
That's-
Was that from the chat? Who asked that? They
That
deserve
should
it.
be
Uh,
Frank should answer that.
I should.
Uh,
So
you get to piss Greer off.
anyway, just
Yeah.
Good question, Ian Payne.
just call yourself Jack. You'll be fine. The BFPVRA, British FPV Racing Association, is a non-profit. It's the kind of specialist body of the BMFA, completely separate membership. The BFPVRA will give you is a number that will allow you to qualifying events and British Championship and stuff like that. There is a members area and forum on the website that you'll get access to. You'll get
Does it-
priority entry to these events. What was that?
Does anyone use that chat?
It gets used basically for organising events. Is the main
So it gives
thing.
you a number, mainly. That's the main thing.
Mainly a number and a membership card and a lanyard and an overwhelming sense of gratification
Good.
for supporting
When should I feel that?
association. Throughout the year.
When I get at least my number.
Yeah. When,
No, I mean,
when,
'cause
you,
obviously-
when you receive your lanyard, put it round your neck, wearing only that and nothing else.
Forever.
Yeah.
Shower with
And-
it.
and goggles.
with it.
Oh, that's it.
But you
and
don't
wander
actually
around.
get the sense of gratification until you take a selfie in that situation. It's like, the group.
No, but I mean,
But the hash.
I'll just tell you one thing. For signing up, you don't get much back other than thanks for the money. So obviously the season hasn't even started, and
Yeah.
but there's regular contact.
You
I'm
do
hoping.
get to
Mainly
be in the
the
races when they
events.
do start.
It's mainly the events. The cost of is basically the cost of running the database and website, because what the whole point of the number is that your name and details are connected to that number in the database, and so when an events organizer wants to organize an event, rather than getting every person to put in all their details and trying to chase everyone up, and everyone knows that that's an issue, like you don't want to start off your weekend with people running around trying to work out who is who and what channel is everyone on, and you know, where are they, how do we get hold of them, why aren't they here.
Yeah.
So it's basically it's making it a lot easier for events organizers to organize events, and it's, but you know, as part of that, the dealing with the BMFA, Ofcom, CAA and the FAI to make sure that flying FPV and that races can more you know, sort of mainstream sport in the FAI. So last year that was how the Queen's Cup FPV World. So if you remember, we covered it at the time. We had some field recording as well, but the Queen's Cup is a UK trophy. It's one of the oldest competitive trophies in the world, but for the past few decades, it's been for aviation sports. Everything from cross-country gliding to aerobatics, like full scale. But then last year, it was given to FPV racing. So the BMFA, PVRA ran the Queen's Cup event to run that as a, you know, as a where you won, or the trophy that's, you know, a proper aviation full scale trophy.
So the trouble with racing, though, of these league events and stuff, it's great for the people that have been flying, you know, a year, 2 years and stuff, that have been racing like Tony and gone to events. But I guess we just don't have many events for new people, even wanting to try it out and stuff like that. but I think there might be something in May this year for even those pilots that would like to at least have a go, but not feeling like they want to go up against the fast pilots that are just instantly going to set lap times and stuff.
Yeah, I think we should have a Let's Drone Out type thing that does that next year.
Yes. Yeah, drone games was quite fun last year, so
Yeah.
I definitely want to do that again. But yeah, obviously the Team in the Air Show event.
Yeah, which
hopefully
usually
will go up
coincides
this year.
International Drone Day, which is into its 3rd year now. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Before we move too far away from BFPVRA, for anyone who does want to organise an event or a club or anything, BFPVRA has a whole stock of, besides the fact that there's all the people that organise all the other events, so you've got all that kind of knowledge to feed off of. There is an affiliate program for that if you want equipment and stuff for running events. So if you're saying like the race tracking quite expensive, BFPVRA will organize. It generally works on the basis of if you can organize getting it from basically Greer to your event, then you can get access to all the track timing and the is for doing the race wall and things like that.
And stickers. I'm just reading the chat.
There are stickers as well. Yep.
Well, I
Also
think
stickers.
that's very important to a lot of people.
Yeah, HBI
Okay.
guy, I think, number 1. Does he know this?
He needs some stickers. I can next week. I can get on. I've just been speaking to my buddy Matthew. He can come on with the main designer of Racebox next week and have a 20-minute chat. So
That sounds
can-
perfect.
Nice.
I will try to
Yeah.
arrange that for next week so we can talk. Get the guys
I
on.
hope-
We can talk about Racebox next week.
Yeah, and we'll get our difficult questions ready for then.
Yes.
And you
So
listeners.
tune in next week to hear about the Racebox.
You know, actually, tuning in next week, we were hoping to have a new start for the 2017, weren't we? Let's turn out. Let's turn up on time. The thing that Tony's been going on for years, but we're going to try our best, don't we? Next
I'm
week we might-
always on that.
We are getting better.
we
I'm
are.
sorry.
No, it's all right. I mean,
I think the Google thing's been great. Actually, it's saved a lot of techno faff.
and we
Yeah.
get live chats, so people can see. In
Yeah.
fact, I might even get my webcam working for next week.
Yeah, Jay, no one knows what you look like apart from
Yeah.
people have said you look like Neil from The Young Ones.
Yeah, well, I do cameos as Jesus.
People are going to be a little disappointed. Well, I was going to say I've always thought he's more Jesus-y,
Hmm.
but there's somewhere.
he is
Think
quite
of a
Jesus-y.
hybrid.
A hybrid
Yeah.
between Jesus and Neil from The Young Ones.
Well, stay tuned. Maybe next week.
Basically a hippie.
Yeah.
He'll turn water into weed.
If only, I'd be quite profitable. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be quite a cool.
That's it. That's your
Simon.
next assignment, Jay. You've got to get the
I
webcam
can
going.
turn water into steam. How's that?
I can do that too.
Are you allowed to, though? That's the question.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I'm waiting to unbox my big box behind me. That's my.
What is that, Adam? Let's have a look at it.
Come
We're
on.
going to have a second live
Oh,
unboxing. Here we go. Second live
no,
unboxing.
no.
Is it 6
We'll
toys? Is
save that.
that it? Is that why?
No.
Is that
Oh,
why?
that- you-
Go on, let's
There's
see.
the that's the clue.
Oh, I
Is
know
it
what
the
that-
silver one? Is it the silver one?
It
The
is
new-
the silver one.
Ah.
What's
Cool.
the? Is
But
that?
that isn't a clue for the silver Osmo. Is that what you're talking about?
No. Oh no.
Oh.
Sorry. This is a
That
Zen Muse
can't-
X5S.
That
which
can't
means
be an
this
Inspire
is
behind
one of-
you.
This
The new
is
one.
a Inspire 2.
It's
Wow.
not. What's
Ooh,
standing
it
up
is.
that way? Why isn't it laying down?
That's because then you wouldn't see it, so I can go on about it.
Okay, go on
We
about
haven't really gone on about it yet.
Go on,
But
Adam.
Jack, hold
Because
on.
you wanted
Well,
to talk
is
about
Jack
Radio Free.
prepared? Is Jack prepared to vacate talk of FPVRA
Yeah,
and
come
racing
on,
and
let's do
drone in general to let you talk about DJI and Inspire 2?
Let him do
And I
it.
think the answer, if we're honest, is no.
No.
He isn't.
Well, maybe that should be saved for another show.
I'm saying yes.
No, I was gonna. I wanted to do it properly on camera, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube next week.
Cool.
So
Are you going to do a live
Are you going to get
unboxing?
your mugshot in the view?
I will do a non-live. I will do an edited unboxing.
But you've got to get your mugshot in as you're like giddy with joy. And then drop it.
It's the heavy breathing that unsettles me.
Yeah. And him rubbing his thighs, going, yeah.
Also,
Very more expensive.
Who's your daddy now?
Referring to himself in the third person.
No, because I'm going to do a proper comparison with the Inspire 1 before I get rid of it. Inspire 1 for sale, by the way.
Yeah, there's loads for sale now, isn't there?
Can I have a go of the Inspire 1?
Of course you can.
Hey.
It'll be so different from Woodcopter, but not really.
Yeah. People keep writing to me about Woodcopter.
Can it stay up for 27 minutes?
What, Woodcopter?
No.
No, because Jack flies it.
Phrasing, Tony. Phrasing.
How long did Woodcopter survive before you flew it into the ground?
No,
It was
Woodcopter.
returned to home. And it did return to home,
No,
but very, very fast.
Tony's getting confused.
Oh, a different
there's
Woodcopter.
your Woodcopter.
The wooden wonder,
And,
which is still
yeah.
yours.
You've got the Woodcopter, and I've got the Poocopter.
Oh, what are we talking about? See, I'm getting lost because the Poocopter is made out of wood.
As well. Not as much wood.
Does that mean the Woodcopter is made out of poo?
The Woodcopter is made out of.
It's not necessarily
all
made
wood.
out of poo, but you could certainly associate the word poo with it.
I wouldn't. 27 minutes
No.
fly time. I bet it beats the Inspire, hands down.
Yeah, I'm interested to know how long 20. What is it? Claims.
I know what we could do. Well, good. We're coming up to you. Inspire 2 hover and Poocopter hover.
I'll tell you
see
one
what
thing, though.
lasts the longest. See what auto lands the first. That would be so good. Like, how much did you pay for the Inspire 2?
Don't want to talk about it.
Come on.
Pay about 3 to
Come
5
on.
grand somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
How many thousands is going to be flying?
It's
through
a
the air
3-cam
with
copter before you put a camera on it.
Okay,
I
should we
said-
start doing the exploits and see if we can get around the and bring it down somewhere else? No, but the truth is, that, I mean, they're quite amazing machines, but the DJI have to look after their software. There's so much fragmentation now because I think they've got a DJI Go 2 app, and it's not. They're trying to bundle too much in the last one, and they're going to start losing out through quality.
Well, that's what I want to compare a bit because I do think that things seem to be going a bit crazy.
They are. They're breaking. So much so, when I just tried to do a simple flight with a DJI product, I couldn't take off the DJI Go app on my phone, so I had to use a third-party app, which worked flawlessly. Whereas every other time, the DJI one wasn't. And you just think, well, come on, you're making the products, you should at least back it up with the software. So my opinion's going down a little bit.
Why did that happen, Joe?
I also find their firmware stuff is just inelegant compared to the.
Yeah. So let's put it under the paces. Let's put them under the microscope where they're currently at. Because maybe it's time to take all your shares out of DJI, Jack.
Jay,
Shane?
explain what
It's a
happened.
communist country.
Jay, tell me what happened. What are you saying?
Okay, well, it wouldn't bind. The app keeps on crashing, and I saw the reviews and stuff, and it was crashing numerous times for lots of people. So in the end, I was going to fly it manually. And I thought I'll just try Litchi, which is a £20 app.
Yeah.
But quite a feature-rich app if you ever. But
that's
it worked
nice.
perfectly.
So why is the DJI what's made for that particular?
But I think they've.
What is it crashing or what's happening?
The trouble is they add too much onto one app. So in the past they used to have separate apps, and they realized that they had too many apps on the ecosystems for whatever phone,
Right.
and they tried to consolidate it into one. And for a while it was good; it would work and detect and stuff. But the trouble is you get different versions of software that they're trying to make it work on, and it half of it will be their problem, and half of it will also be trying to develop for varying and changing ecosystems. But they really need. If there's such a
I also
massive,
find it's
huge
kind of
company.
weird to have to tell your phone. Like you usually only have one drone when it's plugged into the controller.
It should know.
And the first
It
thing you
should
do
know.
is you have to swipe along a list going,
Yeah.
no, it's not a
Yeah.
Mavic.
Well,
I haven't
No.
spent my money on that.
You must be able to tell what my serial number is because you're already doing tracking of the batteries.
Or
Surely this
you
gives
are
a
already
clue.
plugged. Yeah, you're plugged
Yeah.
into it. You must know.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, one. I will show I've just taken the camera box out of the cardboard,
Intelligence
and
test.
this
Oh, it's
little
not
thing
proper
here.
unboxing now, Adam, for the
Look
next
at this. Is leather. A little leather strap around the thing.
That is a dead cow.
classy.
On a bit of, that is
Or dead
not
animal,
classy.
yeah.
I don't find that classy, Adam.
Go on, bite it,
Yeah.
Adam. Bite it. Bite it and say
I
something.
don't know. It does look like real leather, to be honest.
I hope it's not. It's like a cow on a fucking bit of technology.
Wow.
You know, one
yeah,
thing- you know-
there-
hold on,
there's
hold
a
on,
good
hold on.
story here.
I think we need to put everything into perspective, right? Adam has not mentioned his child because he's got a new child now.
New child is
Mm.
my child is in Greece. I'm going to Greece tomorrow, because he's getting dunked.
In the sea. See if he's Moses.
Um,
That looks
yeah,
nice.
well, no, it's a religious ceremony. That's the X5S.
Ooh.
So it is even bigger than the X5.
Jack is currently reeling in fear.
Of what? I'm not
Can
going
you
to
not
kill him
see?
with it.
He's turned his webcam off. He's
Are you going tomorrow and not taking the new product?
Obviously, I'm taking the toys.
So you're going to do an unboxing tonight on your own?
Do an unboxing and an update.
rubbing himself.
Oh God, the fuck, the annoying updates. Yeah, I forgot about the updates. Yeah, which will take forever.
Ah, well,
And
we'll
yet-
get to see some footage and get to
Yes,
see.
I don't know if I'll be able to take it inside the christening. That might not go down well.
No, probably not.
Someone told me a brilliant idea for christenings. Speaking as someone who's less religious than maybe some of the other people in the room, is that you know those bath bubble things you get, bath bombs.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you hide a little black bath bomb in the baby's little clothes or something, or or if you're having one of those Baptist ones done in America, like when you're older, just put it in, and then when they dunk you, then it'll bubble up and go black, and they'll think he's the devil's child. Well, obviously,
Only fools and
Adam?
horses, Damien.
yes.
Are we going to get to see you fly a DJI Snail?
Snail.
Yeah, it's their little racing one.
Has it come out
Yeah,
yet?
yeah, well, people mentioning in the chat, you can go on their website and see it now. They've got some neon gates and stuff. So, but I think this would be a good challenge, actually. We'll get, because we need to. You can't just be purely DJI on the aerial platforms. Well,
No, it's just they seem to bring out more stuff.
aerial photography stuff. They do, but there's software they need to fix.
Oh, they do.
Can you imagine
Oh, yeah.
upgrading
I remember
the wooden copter to iNav and Waypoint?
I think it should be done.
That'd
I
be,
think it
that'd
has.
be
We should-
hilarious.
Come on. I mean, we can make that comparable to a DJI Inspire 2. Simple.
I absolutely
Oh,
agree.
actually, did anyone see the Fleur releasing an action camera?
Yes, the Fleur
That's quite
Duo.
interesting.
Did
Yeah.
anyone see?
I noticed the viewers went down when we were talking about DJI.
Yeah.
they do.
No, they didn't. It's exactly the same as it's been the whole time.
Can now
It's
you're
20 instead of
fly
24.
too,
4
Oh,
people don't like
online.
DJI.
can fly at 70 mile an hour. Would you like to film me and my Integra?
I would.
Yeah,
I'd,
it's quite
I'd definitely be up for that.
Once it's passed its MOT and got road tax.
That'd be tomorrow. That'd be all right. Go
Yeah.
straight through,
I
Jack.
take it the Integra is its maximum speed. Sorry, the 70 miles an hour, isn't it?
Not really.
What was I going to
Highway.
Did anyone see the thermal imaging action camera?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Did we just mention that one?
Once.
There's an echo in this room.
I put it in. I did. Was that the one? Is that what it's
Echo.
called?
Echo.
I didn't
Yeah,
see
the
it.
Fleur Duo.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting, actually. You know what would be interesting? The latency, to see if you could fly by that. Because if it's low enough
Yeah.
latency, then you could fly at night in pitch black, maybe.
Because
Would it
if
put
you
both
notice,
sig-
it's only
Would it
got
put both
like,
signals out?
Sorry?
Will it work?
kind of overlays
Can you
them.
use it for FPV?
Well, I think the latency is probably higher than what you're used to from even a standard GoPro and stuff, because I think it has to do more signal processing.
If
the
it's
sensor to
overlaying.
Well,
But
not only that, even
but
just
for finding
infrared.
lost souls or detecting which roofs of people growing weed in or whatever you use thermal imaging
Well,
for,
that's the first thing.
I would guess it's not going to be a problem, is it?
No, because you can hover in the same
Tony
spot.
turned around like as soon as I mentioned growing weed in
Oh,
your
sorry, I was
roof.
looking at the dog.
Can they see? Can they see?
What?
He's looking at me now, but
Yeah.
sorry, I swore. Sorry, Jack. Sweary,
Tony
sweary.
Yes,
Rasta.
this is the FLIR Duo. So
Maybe.
this is like a little GoPro thing that's got a thermal imager as well as just a normal camera. So the normal camera is 1080 resolution, and the thermal imager as a whole 160 by 120 pixels. So it's not a whole lot, but what they're doing with that, because thermal imaging is pretty darned expensive, they're getting this down to only $1,000 by having this tiny little sensor size, and then they're overlaying the full 1080p normal light camera image over the top of the thermal image. So you've got the edges are being detected and shown. So you've got the kind of the outlines of things from the light camera, and then the kind of color in big splodgy colors from the thermal camera. So
Yeah, it's always those
you haven't got,
purple, red, yellow weirdness, isn't it?
Yeah, but
yeah, it's for doing
trouble is-
something useful with it, I think, rather than
often you can
Yeah,
turn
yeah. No, it does
black
look
and
like
white anyway. So there must be some post-processing.
it
from
must
the
be. I have to say, I feel really, really sorry for Unique, because you know how they bring out something and then someone else brings the technology out, or vice versa. They were showing a reasonably cheap thermal imaging thing at the drone show, and I think it was probably their most interesting product, because they seem to have lost out on cameras and what have you.
What it does though is it
and then now
makes-
everyone can go and build one.
But the thing is, this is all progress, because this just opens up more agriculture applications, more search and rescue applications. So
Stuff that
it's
makes us look good.
yeah.
well, no, just stuff that shows a different side to the whole industry. And I think it's good when we still have these things, that hopefully the people that are dead against these things flying in the air at public parks in Essex actually see that perhaps when their Alzheimer's suffering family member gets found by a drone in 5 years' time, that it's it's progress. It's not.
Let's hope that
That's a
everyone
long
in
hard
Chelmsford
shot anyway. Isn't it?
loses at least one family member.
Well, if not, Tony will start picking them off one by one. Then take your choice.
Yeah. The other drone using thermal imaging to target its missiles.
No, but I mean, it's progress, and I think it's positive. It still costs a small fortune for this stuff, but
If they're going to be allowing exports of this one,
from the US.
been an issue with FLIR products in the past is because they're considered by the US as military technology. They aren't allowed to export them because there's something in the Constitution that says you're not allowed to export military technology.
But that's not all the
Um,
countries in the world. Did we still get the
Constitution?
limitation in the UK, being their special ally?
Yeah, but only to not just to Joe Public,
Well, there you
to,
go, Adam,
like,
if I have one.
the police,
Sorry.
military, and people like that. But yeah, so I don't know whether we're actually going to be able to buy one. But if we are allowed, or without having to go through the whole ITAR regulations, then it'll be $1,000 for the FLIR Duo, which is just this thing is hotter than that thing. It's just qualitative. And then there's a FLIR Duo R, which will say this is exactly 1,000 degrees Kelvin or whatever. So
Which would
it's
be a lot for a human.
Is Jack alive,
Yeah, I mean,
or is he just?
you shouldn't
is he
be seeing
in-
1,000
That's
degrees Kelvin
fascinated by
if
the
you're a human.
science.
Yeah, I
Oh,
am.
he's
I'm
moving.
here, just listening.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Jack. Is there? Is there?
I think that's the
Oh,
first
sorry.
time. I think that's the first time we've
Shut
ever
up, Tony!
we've ever had an apology for you, Jack, from Tony. I'm sorry, Jack.
Is there any guys in or any FPV events in Ireland? Someone's asking. Streaker. I can't read. My phone; it's too small. Are there any FPV events in Northern Ireland? I haven't met another FPV here in months. So,
Okay,
is
I'd
there
say
anyone who flies FPV?
Barren wasteland.
best
I'm
bet.
sorry.
your best bet for finding local flyers, I think, is to search Facebook. If you're not on it, then it does have its uses, and maybe that's for one reason you could get on it. Because actually, the communities are driven often by Facebook groups in small pockets of areas.
Or attend local events.
Yeah, but if you don't know
I
what
don't
your
think
local
there's
events are on,
no local events in
you
Northern
have to
Ireland.
make
I
them,
think
and you
that's
need
what
other
I'm
people to make them.
saying.
Really. Brian FPV said basically that it's illegal to have thermal imaging in Canada.
Oh.
Wow.
Really?
Do you know
Yeah.
it's often illegal because of hunting. People people who go and catch rhinos or whatever use it.
Good.
In Canada.
What,
Not in
rhinos in Canada?
No.
They're going
Um,
into zoos then.
But they probably have bear hunters. It's like hunters who you don't want hunting nearly extinct species. If you make it easy for them to get drones with IR cameras, they can fairly easily track down their prey.
Bigfoot.
Or Bigfoot, yeah. Yeah, I suppose with Canada it's more conspiracy people.
It's a shame we can't find Nessie with this thermal imaging, because I think the water will knock it out.
I think there might be.
Maybe if Nessie gets close to the surface, any Scottish flies up there with £1,000 to spare, and you can actually get one because of the export things. Please get one to search for Nessie.
Don't encourage Tony, because he'll be like, see, Nessie's real, the Earth's flat, but the tinfoil hat will never come off. You can see me with thermal
Nessie was
imaging.
real, but I've had him killed.
Yeti is real. He lives in Brighton. His name's Jack Nash.
I'm allowed to do this. That's all I'm going to say, Tony. That's all I'm going to say.
We found him in the wild and brought him in.
Nurtured him and brought him back to life.
Taught him how to fly.
Yeah.
Where Mother Nature cast him out.
So, yeah, next
Jackie,
week.
basically Jackie.
I've got confirmation for next week. We can have the everything talked about on the race box. So next week we'll be talking about race box for an hour, probably, if you're interested. So we'll have the guy from Germany and Matt Austin talking to us next week. So that'll be quite interesting. And we won't be talking about Yetis sitting in the living room.
Maybe. Yeah.
We can talk about a little bit of Yetis.
Yeah. I think you need a bit. It's just. I mean, how do you time a Yeti?
With a FPV one, you attach an FPV camera to the Yeti, and if by the time it does using Tony's or Matthew's things on next week, we'll ask him how easy would it be to lap time a Yeti.
Right. I'm going to call it there, seeing as we're...
Hold on. One more thing before we go. Who we had on last year, she's put a call out for Team B Rotor. They're looking for pilots to sponsor this year.
Zoe, did you say?
Zoe FPV.
Zoe
Yep.
Strassenberg. I forget the
Stumbow.
Thank you.
So they're going
the
to
little
have
tiny ones. Yeah, awesome.
eight
Worldwide.
frames, 13 sets of motors, 30 sets of ESCs, 30 sets of antennas, loads of stuff. For anyone who wants to apply, I will
That's proper
drop
sponsorship. That is.
in the chat. There you go. Hopefully that's there.
How many
So
a year? How many aerials a year? How many cameras can you smash up a year?
Tony's interested now, aren't you, Tony?
That's it. Tony just loves free stuff.
Free
He's
stuff.
got one of
Give it
those,
to me,
like,
baby.
Big, like,
Brain
American
so much
mums who, like, collect all their coupons.
And usually when Tony's been racing for a day and he's crashed a lot, he starts crying and sobbing, and people feel sorry for him and they give him stuff.
I do sob. I am a bit of a
We'll
sob.
do things for quad parts, usually written on his sign.
I love that photo of me. I like got a cartoon shaped head. That's all I can describe with the weird.
I did post it
90s.
in fact, I'll put it back in the main chat just because I don't know, it might have got swallowed up in the rest of the chats.
No.
See Jack at his happy best.
Happy time. Underneath the table.
Also
Right,
got a sort
that's
of
it.
Rapidly moving towards a sort of sideshow Bob thing going on with the hair.
Oh, yeah, he knows where the style's at. Good on you, Jack.
Yeah, no worries. Right,
All
thank you
Just trying to say
again
goodbye.
But
for
Jack,
tuning in to Let's Drone Out.
Oh, one
You
more
have been-
thing.
Hold
Let's
on.
have a great 2017. No, honestly, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us for a whole year. Please do it again for this year.
Don't
Right.
forget it's what is in many ways, but main one is giving Jack a big hug because he
Yes.
needs
Yep. So you've been listening to Let's Drone Out. You've been joined by Adam Juniper, DJI.
it. He's gone. He's
Let's
upset.
just call him that now.
Frank or Adam?
Adam? What? Frank or Adam? What?
Adam, Andrew.
You mentioned me
Anyone?
already. You
Oh,
move on to the
Frank.
next person.
See, you need to.
Someone
this
talk.
works.
I didn't know whether anything was working. Frank?
It's all right.
Oh, sorry. I did my
Hello.
little goodbye
Goodbye.
salute. Bye.
Oh, I didn't see the salute. Sorry.
No.
Yeah. Right, Jay,
Thanks, Frank. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Jack. Mwah! And then much love.
Tony,
Au revoir.
or Tone Star One, and Brighton Side Light. Thank you and good night.
Bye.